Good afternoon, friends. Let's begin the session. I open the floor for questions.
उमा शंकर सिंह एनडीटीवी इंडिया से। विदेश मंत्री का एक बयान जर्मनी से सुनने में आया है कि भारत और चीन के बीच 75% जो विवाद है वो सुलझा लिया गया है। मेरा सवाल ये है कि क्या WMCC और जो कोर कमांडर लेवल की बातचीत में जो कुछ भी निकल के आया है उससे ज़्यादा कुछ नया निकल के सामने आया है, या वो पुरानी बात को ही रेफ़र कर रहे थे कि 75% इशू सुलझा लिए गए?
ब्रह्म प्रकाश दुबे, न्यूज़ इंडिया से। मेरा सवाल ये है कि राहुल गांधी ने जिस तरह से चीन को लेकर कहा है कि चीन दिल्ली के क्षेत्रफल के बराबर जो है भारत की ज़मीन पर कब्जा किए हुए है लद्दाख को लेकर। राहुल गांधी सांसद हैं, विपक्ष के नेता हैं, तो विदेश मंत्रालय इसको लेकर क्या सोचता है, क्या बात रखना चाहता है? क्योंकि उन्होंने ये बात पूरी दुनिया को बताई है कि हमारे इतने एरिया पर कब्जा किए हुए चीन, क्या सही है? थैंक यू।
नीरज
सर, नीरज न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया से। हमारा सवाल है, रूसी आर्मी में भर्ती भारतीयों को लेकर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के दौरे के दौरान इस मसले को भारत की तरफ से उठाया गया था। अब तक कितने लोगों की वापसी हुई है और कितने लोग अभी भी रूसी आर्मी में फंसे हुए हैं, और ये किन किन राज्यों से हैं?
So good evening, Rishabh from Times Now. So there are reports that the Indians who went to Israel for construction work, there have been issues with them. Has there been any official communication between India and Israel regarding the condition and working standards of the Indians who are there, who went under agreement between India and Israel?
Uma.
Sir, I'm Huma Siddiqui from the Financial Express. So there are reports that an Indian origin Israeli soldier killed amid escalating tensions in the West Bank. So anything on that? I mean, who is this person? Is he Indian or he was born there or he's gone there?
पहले कर लेते हैं इनको। उमा शंकर, आपका सवाल भारत चीन रिश्तों को लेके है। भारत चीन रिश्ते के ऊपर में विदेश मंत्री ने हाल ही के दिन दिल्ली में और फिर बर्लिन में अभी कुछ दिन पहले, 2 दिन पहले, 1 दिन पहले बात की है। उसके अलावा हम लोगों ने जो हमारी बातचीत चल रही है चीन के साथ WMCC के तहत, उसके बारे में हम लोगों ने अवगत कराया है आपको। तो विदेश मंत्री ने जो कहा है और जो हम लोगों ने अभी तक कहते आए हैं इस मंच से और WMCC के माध्यम से, वहाँ पर वही है जो स्थिति हमारी चीन और भारत की रिश्तों की स्थिति है। उससे ज़्यादा हम लोग कुछ See, on India-China relations, we have External Affairs Minister has spoken about it on several occasions, including recently in Berlin. Also, he had spoken here when he attended the Economic Times event. We have also been keeping you informed of the developments that have happened in our talks with WMCC in that mechanism. So that is where the India-China relations are at this present time. आपका भी सवाल का जवाब यही है कि जो हमारी जो बातें चल रही है, चीन के साथ जो रिश्ते की बात चल रही है, उस पर विदेश मंत्री ने कहा है, पिछले कुछ दिनों में बर्लिन में भी कहा है, और हम लोगों ने भी इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के माध्यम से आपको अवगत कराया है हमारे रिश्तों के बारे में। नीरज, रूस आपको समय समय पर हम लोग अवगत कराते रहे हैं कि कितने लोग हमारे वहाँ पर रूसी आर्मी में जो भर्ती हैं उनको रिहा कराया जा रहा है। तो प्रधानमंत्री जुलाई में जब रशिया के दौरे पे गए तो वहाँ पर उन्होंने भी इस मुद्दे को उठाया राष्ट्रपति पुतिन से, और तब से 35 लोग भारतीय नागरिक जो रूसी सेना में भर्ती थे उनको रिहा कराया गया है। उससे पहले 10 और लोग थे जिनको रिहा कराया गया था, डिस्चार्ज हो गए थे। तो कुल मिलाकर 45 लोग जो हैं वो हमारे नागरिक, उनको रूसी फ़ौज से रिहा कर दिया गया है। उनमें से 6 लोग आपको जैसे कि पता होगा कि 6 लोग 2 दिन पहले भारत वापस आए थे, उनके आने का इंतज़ाम भारतीय दूतावास ने किया था, और कुछ और लोग हैं जो वहाँ पर आने वाले दिनों में जल्द ही वापस आएंगे। और जहाँ तक आपका सवाल था किन राज्यों से हैं, तो ये जो लोग हैं 45 लोग, वो अलग अलग राज्य से हैं, कोई उत्तर से है, कोई दक्षिण से है, अलग अलग राज्य से हैं। तो कुल मिलाकर 45 लोग को रिहा कर दिया गया, और हम लोग का मानना है कि 51 लोग और हैं जो कि वहाँ पर अभी रूसी सेना में हैं, जिनके डिस्चार्ज के लिए हम लोग लगातार रूसी सरकार से, रूसी अथॉरिटी से बातचीत हमारी चल रही है। So, this particular issue of Indians, nationals who've been recruited in the Russian army and they want to be released, we have taken up this matter with the Russian side. We have been informing you of the developments. In July, when our Prime Minister traveled to Russia, he also took up the matter with President Putin. And since Prime Minister's visit, 35 Indian nationals have been discharged. Prior to that, prior to July, his visit, 10 Indian nationals had been discharged. So 45 Indian nationals have been discharged so far. Several of them have come back. 6 of them came back 2 days ago, and several others would be shortly coming back. There are 50 odd Indian nationals who are still with the Russian army, for whom we are trying our best to get them discharged as early as possible. So that is the situation. Uma, on your question, I also, as I was coming into the press conference, I read a report that an Israeli national of Indian origin has died. We will get more details. You also have the same details which I have, but if you want more on that account, but what I have been told is that he is an Israeli national. So that is what I have been able to gather from our people. Ishi?
Indian workers.
Oh, okay. Rishabh, your question regarding the Indian workers who've traveled, we've seen some reports which came out recently. Under the G2G agreement, 800 Indian workers have traveled to Israel in recent months. And as per information that has been provided to us by the Israeli side, most of the Israeli companies are satisfied with the working of Indian workers. I would also like to let you know that the recruitment process of these Indian workers who travel to Israel, their testing of skills, their suitability, all this is decided by the Israeli side themselves. Their agency PIBA, which came here for the recruitment, looked at all these issues. Further, when Indian workers travel to Israel, they also have to undergo pre-induction training. They also have to go some professional tests so that they are able to undertake their professional requirements. We are given to understand that some Indian workers face some language issues, some communication issues, and some related matters. But we understand that these have now been resolved, and these were these are teething issues which happen when you have a new initiative. But this is our understanding, and as per our information, that those initial issues, teething issues, have now been resolved. I would like to also point you out to the detailed response which has been put out by the National Skills Development Corporation on this issue, as also the Israeli embassy has put out or responded in this matter. So if you could look at that. I would, since we are referring to a particular media report, I would like to say here and clarify that this particular media report mentions that B2B arrangement is being overseen by MEA. This is factually not correct. Overall, Indian workers are satisfied and the Israeli companies are satisfied with this arrangement. Yeshi?
Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. This question is on Bangladesh. Our High Commissioner in Dhaka met the advisor on commerce and trade. Is there any hope of revival of trade between India and Bangladesh and the projects that India had sought to establish? Also, is there any official communique on Quad being swapped by the US, and will India host it next year?
प्रणय?
सर, बांग्लादेश की पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री शेख हसीना को 1 महीने से ज़्यादा का वक्त भारत में हो चुका है और बांग्लादेश से जो रिपोर्ट्स आई हैं उसमें वो एक्सट्रेडिशन की बात कई बार वहाँ के कई ऑफिशियल्स की तरफ से की गई है। क्या भारत के पास में कोई ऑफिशियल या नोट वर्बाल या कोई ऐसा कम्युनिकेशन मिला है इस संदर्भ में? और शेख हसीना का ऑफिशियल स्टेटस क्या है? क्या पॉलिटिकल असाइलम का कोई स्टेटस है उनका या कुछ मूव किया है? और एक क्लैरिफिकेशन कि क्या वो कितने समय तक भारत में रह सकती हैं, इसको लेके कोई डिप्लोमेटिक लिमिटेशंस हैं क्या?
Yeah.
So, Pia with the print. Earlier this week, the Chinese state-run media outlet Global Times published an op-ed titled India's Diplomacy Has a Jaishankar Problem, and it made a lot of accusations against India's foreign minister, including that he has negatively impacted reconciliation efforts between the two countries. They then took down this op-ed. Does the ministry have any comment on this?
नीरज?
सर नमस्कार, मैं नीरज दुबे प्रभा साक्षी से। मेरा सवाल जम्मू कश्मीर विधानसभा चुनाव को लेकर है। सर, यूके में कुछ संगठनों ने भारत के खिलाफ दुष्प्रचार करते हुए कुछ आरोपी लगाए, पाकिस्तानी एजेंडा को आगे बढ़ाया, जिसके जवाब में भारतीय समुदाय ने भी वहाँ पे प्रदर्शन किया है लंदन में। तो अभी क्योंकि समय है, प्रचार में चल रहा है, तो पाकिस्तान की तरफ से इस तरह के दुष्प्रचार और चलाए जाएंगे। भारत सरकार का क्या कहना है सर इस दुष्प्रचार अभियान पर?
So Kalul from the Hindu. My question is regarding the Adani project in Godda, because there are reports both from here as well as from Bangladesh indicating that the government of Bangladesh is going to review the Godda power project. But do you think the government of Bangladesh is within its rights to review the project with the Adani group? Or and also, I mean, do you think that would be a violation of certain understandings between India and the government of India as well as the government of Bangladesh?
Okay, can we, Manas will come back to you. There are certain advantages of sitting in front. You would have realized it when you were in class, studying in school. Yeshi, your question regarding trade and commerce. See, trade and commerce have started with Bangladesh. Trucks are plying between the two countries, carrying essential commodities and whatever else that is being traded between India and Bangladesh. We had given you details about our High Commissioner calling on when he made the introductory call on the Chief Advisor, and he discussed issues of mutual interest, where he conveyed that India will continue to work with Bangladesh to fulfill this shared aspirations of the people of both countries for prosperity, security and development. So that is, how we approach, we are approaching our engagement with Bangladesh. On the projects part, I had informed you earlier as well that, several of the projects have been impacted because of the situation in Bangladesh right now. They have been disrupted, and these projects will recommence when the security situation in Bangladesh permits. People who are personnel who are working on those projects, they can return and they can resume work. There were also last time a question on the friendship pipeline project. That of course project, it is between Numaligarh to Parbatipur in Bangladesh, through which we are supplying high-speed diesel. This project is in operation since March of 2023. There are some added issues in regard to this friendship project, extension of the pipeline, on which we have made some proposal to Bangladesh, and we await their comeback on it. On Quad, I will, I'm given to understand that there will be an announcement in this regard later this evening. So please do watch out for what is being put out. You will get get the answer. An official announcement is expected soon. That is what I understand. प्रणय, आपका सवाल प्रत्यर्पण को लेके है। देखिए, इस मामले पे, एक्सट्रेडिशन पे, प्रत्यर्पण पे हम लोगों ने पहले भी कहा है कि ये जो सवाल है ये हाइपोथेटिकल सा सवाल है इस अभी के संदर्भ में। तो हमने पिछले भी प्रेशर में और उससे पहले भी इस बात पर आप लोगों की नज़र मैंने आकर्षित किया था। तो ये प्रत्यर्पण का सवाल जो है हमारे नज़र में अभी जो है, और हम लोग इस प्रकार के अभी सवाल को जवाब नहीं देते हैं। जो प्रैक्टिस हमारा नहीं है कि हाइपोथेटिकल क्वेश्चंस की हम जवाब दें। और जहाँ अब तक स्टेटस की बात कही आपने, देखिए, जो पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री बांग्लादेश की वो आई थी हमारे यहाँ, एक संदर्भ में आई थी, शॉर्ट नोटिस वहाँ के अपने सेफ्टी को लेके वहाँ पर आई थी। उसके आगे मुझे इस पे और मेरे पास कुछ और आपको जानकारी देने के लिए नहीं है। Your question was regarding the Global Times story. On that, see, as far as India-China relations are concerned, our External Affairs Minister has spoken on it on several occasions, recently as well, including he has spoken about these ties when he was in Berlin yesterday. I do not wish to add anything more to what he said. नीरज, देखिए, दुष्प्रचार तो किसी भी प्रकार का हो वो अच्छा नहीं होता है। हाँ, तो कोई भी दुष्प्रचार हमारे खिलाफ चल रहा हो उसका तो हम विरोध करते हैं। जहाँ तक भारतीय समुदाय ने लंदन में, आपने कहा कि वहाँ पर दुष्प्रचार के खिलाफ ही उन्होंने आवाज़ उठाया, अच्छी बात है। भारतीय समुदाय जो बाहर में रह रही है वो भी चाहते हैं कि देश में तरक्की हो, देश सही दिशा में जाए, और कोई भी दुष्प्रचार है उसकी तो हमको निंदा करनी चाहिए। Kalol, what you are referring to is a private project. It is bound by a buyer-seller agreement between two parties. One party which happens to be an Indian party and the other party happens to be the Bangladeshi party. It is for both these parties to decide what do they want out of this arrangement, this agreement. It's a buyer-seller, it's a private engagement. So they'll have to sit and sort out issues if they have in this particular engagement. Azali.
Sir, our NSA is there in Russia for the BRICS NSA meet, and he's also reportedly meeting Mr. Putin there. Can you just share some insights about what kind of peace plan or the message from the Prime Minister he's conveying there? Also, he's expected to meet his Chinese counterpart as well. So some details about that if possible.
Manas, sorry.
Sir, on Bangladesh, this is Manas from PTI. The head of Bangladesh's interim government, Mohammad Yunus, recently made certain remarks. He said Hasina's comments from India is a kind of unfriendly gesture and she must stay silent. He also said that India must move beyond the narrative that portrays every other political party except Awami League as an Islamist party. So these are pretty strong comments from Yunus. So how do you see these comments?
Okay. Siddhant?
Sir, I want to know your view on Donald Lu's visit to India and then Bangladesh, and I also want to know that during his visit to India, are we going to discuss with him the scenarios going on in Bangladesh? Thank you.
Let them ask first, Huma, then we'll. There.
Sir, good evening. Tahir Maheshwari from Sputnik. Sir, my question also relates to the BRICS NSA meeting. Sir, would it be possible to get a sense of conversations on resolving or mediating the Ukraine conflict? Is there any sense of consensus or emerging consensus among BRICS partners on the way forward in mediating the conflict? Sir, and the second question is, sir, we saw the statement put out by the Indian Embassy in Russia, which said that the National Security Advisor stressed on the need for joint efforts to counter terrorism and online radicalization. To what extent was the situation in South Asia discussed? So this is in regards to recent surge in terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir, as well as, so there are also reports about, like there are reports that suggest that Daesh operators might be involved in recent train sabotage incidents in India. So, like, were these issues discussed? Thank you, sir.
Hi, so Aishwarya Iyer from CNN. So Panama recently deported 130 Indian irregular migrants under a repatriation deal between Panama and the United States. There's also been a consistent rise of the number of people who've been found at the borders by the US border patrolling forces over the years. So firstly, have they returned to India? And if they have we initiated any investigation about the route they took, the purpose of the visit, and whether it was illegal or not? Thank you.
Okay, Ghazali, first to your question. NSA is meeting with President Putin. NSA is in St. Petersburg for BRICS NSA meeting. Yesterday, he participated in the deliberations there. We understand that there are several other bilateral meetings which will happen today as well. We don't have an exact readout, but as and when the meeting happens, we will put out something more so that you can read and understand the developments around the meetings. Manas, look, our approach to Bangladesh, I have earlier also and today as well, while answering Ashi's question, I made it very clear that our High Commissioner had gone to call on the interim chief advisor, head of the interim government, and he had conveyed that India will continue to work with Bangladesh to fulfill the shared aspirations of the people of both countries for prosperity, security and development. He had also conveyed our commitment to taking forward the relationship in accordance with our respective national priorities. So that is our approach to our ties with Bangladesh at present. Siddhant, Assistant Secretary Donald Lu is visiting India. He has several engagements, I understand. He is attending Ideas Summit conference which is being organized by the US-India Business Council. On 16th, he'll be attending the intersessional meeting of the 2+2. So 2+2 format in which we have the External Affairs Minister and the Defense Minister, 2+2 format. So this particular meeting is the intersessional meeting which happens at the level of Joint Secretary. So he'll be attending that meeting while he's in India. And I don't have exact, he may travel to Bangladesh, but I don't know whether. This is an intersessional meeting on the 2+2 dialogue that we have. So the progress that we have achieved in several agenda points that we together have put. The area again on BRICS NSA meeting, the meeting is in St. Petersburg, is going on right now, and yesterday our National Security Advisor, he spoke, made a statement there as well, which you would have seen. He spoke about countering terrorism, radicalization, etc. These are issues which are very critical, not just for us, but for the entire world. These are threats to humanity today, and we take them seriously. We call upon the international community to strengthen fight against terrorism, including cross-border terrorism, radicalization. These things do not stand us in good stead, and we must strengthen our commitment. Aishwarya, regarding the movement of 130 odd Indians from Panama, see, our position is very clear. We do not stand for illegal immigration. With these people, there may have been some issues. They have been sent back. We will be looking into those aspects. The number of people traveling, Indians traveling worldwide is huge, legally traveling. It is not in our interest where a minuscule number of people travel or in a manner which is not in conformity with established practice and laws. Huma?
We have a tripartite agreement between India, Nepal, Bangladesh related to transit. So what is the status of that?
Yes, this particular tripartite agreement for supply of electricity was put in place some time back. Exact functioning of it, technical details, etc., I'll not be able to give you an update. But my understanding is that this particular agreement is in motion. It is work in progress, but I will give you an update shortly after this meeting. We don't have any more questions. Then thank you very much for your presence.